Hello, friends. I'm Chris. I'm from Transformation Nation Yoga and Wellness, and I wanted to bring you a 60-minute chair yoga practice. Chair yoga is a beautiful practice, and it can be expressed in many different ways. So, for example, a lot of standing poses, like for example, the Warrior Series, can be adapted to be done with a chair. So it's a pretty challenging practice. Now, it's not that the practice that we're doing today isn't challenging, but what have intended this for, really specifically, I've got a couple of friends who are recovering from surgery, and once they're released from their physician to some level of physical activity, I'd like to give them something that's fairly dialed down that they can do from a seated position, but that also will be impactful on their nervous system and on the physicality of their body. So that's what I brought for you today. We're going to start out with a mindfulness meditation. We're going to close out with a down regulating breath work. What I think you'll need to be safe, comfortable, and get the most out of your practice for today is, first of all, a chair. And I'd like you to find a chair that doesn't have any arms, but does have a back for support. So I'm going to be using a folding chair. I think that's a great choice, but it doesn't have to be a folding chair either. I would also encourage you to get at least one yoga block. Now, if you don't have a yoga block for today, there's one pose where I'm going to be recommending a block. And what I'm going to be recommending you do with a block, you can do without the block. Please don't avoid the practice because you don't have a block. And a belt. If you don't have a belt, you could use, well, sorry, this is a strap. If you don't use a strap, you could use a belt, you could use a towel, or again, it's really one pose where I'm going to be recommending this belt. So you could easily do the practice without that belt or strap. So pause your recording, gather up your materials, set your chair up, and then when you're ready, press play, and I'll meet you in your practice space. All right, friends, from your seated position, find a seat that allows you to keep your feet on the earth. Now, my preference initially would be leave your knees floating over your ankles. But if for whatever reason that's not comfortable and it would be more comfortable to take your feet further forward, feel free to do that. But I would love to have some level of engagement in your feet. If it feels safe and comfortable for you, close your eyes down, but that doesn't feel safe for every person, right? So if that doesn't feel safe, or you're just not inclined to close your eyes, leave them open with a soft gaze. Maintain a natural breath. And I'd like you to find some anchors to your present moment experience. Now, what does that mean, or what might that be? It might be the sense of the bottoms of your feet pressing down into the carpet or the tile or the hardwood floor below you. It might be a sense of the seat of the chair that you're in pressing into your seat, or the back support pressing into your back. It could be the temperature and the light pressure of your hands in your lap or on your thighs. It could also have something to do with your breath. So you might feel this as a cool rush of air around your nostrils as you inhale. Or maybe it's a warm rush of air on your upper lip as you exhale. When you have thoughts arise into your consciousness, it's okay. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It just means that that's the nature of the human mind. The thoughts will arise and they'll fall away again. So when they come up, see if you can notice them with curiosity and kindness. And then gently label them with your mind. You might visualize your mind having a little yellow sticky note with the word thinking on that sticky note. Place it on that thought, and you don't have to push it away, but just shift your attention back to that anchor to the present moment experience, the most provocative stimulus in your environment. And then maybe the thought just floats away. If you get lost in the dream, if you get caught up in your thoughts, it's okay. Notice that with curiosity and kindness. If you have an emotional response to the realization that you're lost in your thought, notice that with curiosity and kindness. And then shift your attention back to an anchor to your present moment experience. What is the most provocative stimulus in your environment right now? If you've gotten caught up in your thoughts, bring yourself back to your anchor again. You might also notice emotions arise, as you said. If you sit for long enough, this will happen to you. When the emotions arise, see if you can notice them with curiosity and kindness. And then check in. Notice, where are you feeling the emotion in your body? And what's the quality of that feeling? So, where is this emotion embodied for you? And then, if you have an emotional response to this emotion arising, notice that too. Notice it with curiosity and kindness. Gently label both the emotion and your emotional response with a imaginary yellow sticky note. And then after you've really settled in and you've checked into where you're feeling that emotion in your body, maybe you choose to let it float away. If you've gotten caught up in the dream, it's okay. Bring yourself back to this present moment experience. What are the other stimuli in your environment? So maybe it's the sound of children playing or pets moving around elsewhere in your home, or the sound of birds calling upstairs or outside. Today, I have the sound of construction upstairs for me. And it's very typical, it's really natural for us initially to view these as distractions and having an emotional response to irritation. If that happens, that's okay. Notice that. Label, gently label that with your mind, irritation or anger. And then notice where it's embodied, allow it to float away. But you could also, once that sound of those children playing, or your dog barking, or the construction upstairs, or the birds outside, once that becomes the most provocative stimulus in your environment, you could choose to shift your attention to that and allow that to be your anchor to this present moment experience. And if your eyes are closed down, you might gently blink them open. And we're going to shift into a victorious breath, a yogic breath called Ujjayi. So take your right hand, flatten it out, place it in front of your face. Now exhale through your mouth onto your hand as if you were fogging a mirror with your breath. Notice that constriction at the base of your throat. Now close your mouth, exhale towards your hand through your nose, but as if you were fogging it with a mirror again. Attend to that sense of constriction at the base of your throat. Now, maintain that constriction for both your inhale and your exhale. 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 This will lend some texture. It will lend maybe a light audible quality to your breath like an ocean wave. We're going to start with mobilizing the neck. So first, let's lengthen the spine. As you inhale, press into your seat, grow out of your heart and the crown of your head for the stars. And then as you exhale, allow your chin to fold down towards your chest. Inhale, shift your chin up towards your right shoulder. Exhale, rotate your chin to your chest. Inhale, lift your chin up towards your left shoulder. Exhale, chin to your chest. I'm going to just say right or left now. Inhale, right. Exhale your chin to your chest. Inhale, left. Exhale your chin to your chest. Inhale, right. And exhale your chin to your chest. Inhale, left. Exhale your chin to your chest. On your next inhale, lift your chin up to a neutral position. So visualize enough space between your chin and your throat that you could hold like a medium-sized apple. Take your right hand, place it on the top of your head so the fingers of your right hand just brush the top of your left ear. Inhale, lengthen along your spine again. Press into your seat, grow out of the crown of your head. Exhale, fold your right ear down towards your right shoulder. All right, so we're not pulling on the neck. We're just using a little additional weight from your right hand, right forearm, right bicep, and tricep to draw your right ear ever so closer down towards your right shoulder. On your next inhale, lift the crown of your head back up to center. Take your left thumb, plug it into your shoulder. Probe around, find the space where the soft tissue meets the shoulder blade. So right now, left elbow points toward the stars. Shift your right elbow so it points forward towards your device. Inhale, press into your seat, lengthen out of the crown of your head again. Exhale, fold your chin down towards your right shoulder. On your next inhale, use your right hand, draw the crown of your head back up to center. Then as you exhale, you can release your right hand down into your lap. Take your left hand to the top of your head so the fingers of your left hand just brush at your right ear. Inhale to find length. Exhale, fold your left ear down towards your left shoulder. So in the practice today, I've plugged in a number of what I think of as very functional movements, particularly for thoracic spine, where we get locked up an awful lot. Sometimes even when we're down, that when we're sick, we spend hours craning our heads forward looking at smartphones or laptop computers. So just like to be able to counter that a little bit. On your next inhale, use your left hand, draw the crown of your head up to center, plug your right thumb into the shoulder where the soft tissue meets your shoulder blade. Pivot your left elbow forward so it's pointing in front of your face, so towards your device. Inhale, lengthen along your spinal column. Exhale, use your left hand, fold your chin down towards your left shoulder. So maybe feel for a stretch on the back right side of your neck. On an inhale, use your left hand, draw the crown of your head back up to center. Now release both hands down by your side. Right, so let the arms dangle. We're going to do some shoulder rolls. So starting coming up from the back, swing your shoulders from the back up towards your ears. Exhale, release them down to the front. Good. Two more like that. Inhale, shoulders from back, up from the back. Exhale, down in the front. Inhale, lift the shoulders up from the back. Exhale, down from the front. Now find an apparent pause here. We're going to reverse directions. Inhale, lift the shoulders up from the front. Exhale, release them down from the back. Inhale, up from the front. Exhale, down from the back. Inhale, up from the front. Exhale, down from the back. Now, interlace your hands in front of you. Reach your arms all the way up over your head. Start pressing the heels of your hands up toward the stars. Find length along your arms. Inhale, lengthen along your spine as well. Exhale, start to shift your hands off to the left. Open your right rib cage up to the side. So create more space and length between the tip of your right pinky finger and your right hip. Inhale, lift back up into center. Exhale, drop your hands off to the right. Open your rib cage up to the left. Inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale, start to release the arms forward, but full length along the arms. Press the heels of your hands forward towards your device. And then you can start to put some slack in your arms, release the fingers, feed your right arm across the front plane of your body. Reach your left hand up, take a little loop around that right wrist, traction the fingers of your right hand over to the left. Inhale. Exhale, release your right hand back down by your waist. And we're just going to set up for the other side. Feed your left arm across the front plane of your body. Catch your left wrist in your right hand, and then traction the fingers of your left hand further over to the right. So you can, if you like, it's not wrong to catch your left tricep in your right inner elbow crease, but I do find the quality of the stretch is different if I apply that tractional force with the opposite hand. Well, this is totally personal preference, like everything. So what I'm giving you here is my 2 cents. I feel like that's what you pay me for, is to give you my opinion. But ultimately, when it comes to your body and your practice, you have full agency. You're the decision maker. So if something that I say doesn't make sense for you, listen to your body. Choose something that does. Inhale. Exhale. Release your left hand down by your waist. And we're going to stretch our wrists and hands out. So plug your left elbow into the bottom of your left rib cage. Let your left forearm be parallel to the earth. You may choose to shift your left knee out to the side, and then drop the fingers of your left hand down to the earth as if you were pressing the heel of your left hand forward, like Spider-Man. Now take the index finger, middle finger of your right hand, place them below the second knuckle on your left pinky finger. Thumb is just above that second knuckle. And then spread between the thumb and pinky finger on your left hand. Ooh, use the fingers of your right hand. Traction that pinky finger back towards your waist, back towards your body. So we'll spend about 2 breaths per digit. So release the pinky finger gently. Take the middle finger and pointer finger below the second knuckle on your ring finger. Thumb is just above. Draw that ring finger of your left hand back towards your body. Press the heel of your hand forward more. Flex between the thumb and pinky finger of your left hand more. Good job, guys. Release that finger. Middle finger. All right, so people who have like wrist pain related to carpal tunnel, so like a repetitive movement, this would be an amazing stretch throughout the day. More as a preventative, but like with the release of your physician, if you have current carpal tunnel, so it would be worth asking about this as a therapeutic activity. But as a preventative, rock solid. Release that middle finger, pointer finger of your left hand. Right, so when we get to the thumb, the last digit on this left hand, our modus operandi, our MO will be a little bit different. Right, so release the pointer finger of your left hand. Slide the back of your right hand to the back of your left. Hook the middle finger and pointer finger of your right hand around your left wrist. Spread between the thumb and pinky finger in your left hand again, and then traction your left thumb back towards your body. Right, you could overstretch on any one of these wrist and finger stretches, so be kind to yourself. Right, so visualize a scale of sensation from 0 to 10, where 0 you feel nothing, 10 would be excruciating, and I'd like you to choose a level between a 4 to a 6, no more than a 6. All right, so release that thumb. I would prefer you not let it snap back, but release it under your control. Maybe shake your left arm out, bring that left knee back to neutral. Plug your right elbow into the bottom of your rib cage, right forearm parallel to the earth. Drop your right knee off to the right. Drop the fingers of your right hand down to the earth as if you were pressing through the heel of your hand forward. Index finger, middle finger of your left hand under the second knuckle on your right pinky finger, thumb just above. And this time at your own pace, about 2 breaths per digit, take this finger and wrist stretch on this side. The thoracic spine movements that we're doing, part of the reasons I like to throw these into a chair yoga sequence is so you can see you can do these from almost any position. Certainly you could do them standing. Right, and if you practice with me and done any kind of thoracic spine work, you've done a lot of these movements from a standing position. But there's no reason you couldn't do them from your desk at work. Right? And not if you're driving, but if you're riding in the vehicle as a passenger, most of these you could do in a car as well. Some version of them. All right, friends. If you haven't already moved on to that right thumb, back of your left hand to your back of your right, wrap the index finger, middle finger of your left hand around your right thumb, and then traction your right thumb back towards your body. And you could probably, at this point, if you like, shift both knees back into neutral. So the knees are floating over the ankles again. And with lots of care and control, release that right thumb. Maybe shake that right wrist out. Cup your hands on your knees. We're going to do seated cat rolling. So on an inhale breath, visualize a string tied to your belly button, drawing your belly button forward. Lift your gaze, open your heart. Feel the space between your shoulder blades close together. And then as you exhale, press the space between your shoulder blades toward the wall behind you. Release your chin to your chest, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Do 4 more of these at your own pace and at the cadence of your own breath. So 3 more. So we're about to move into seated sun salutations, right? So if you've not done a chair yoga practice before, but you practice other forms of yoga, the chair sun salutations may seem a little bit odd at first, but it's only because it's new. If you remember your first sun salutation in a class, if you've practiced a lot, you probably remember the first time you did a standing sun salutation, it was weird too. Come back into a neutral spine position. And then on an inhale, sweep your arms up over your head. Drop your arms back behind you. Let your thoracic spine fold over the back of that chair. And then exhale your hands into heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Lift your gaze. Exhale, hinge into a forward fold, falling in between your legs. Allow your fingers to drape down toward the earth. Let the crown of your head release down toward the earth. And then on an inhale, find a halfway lift. Press your hands into your shins. Find a flat shape of your back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up over your head. Lift your gaze, look up, and then exhale, tee your arms out to the side. Palms face forward, thumbs reach for the stars, pinkies reach for the earth. I'm going to do some thoracic spine work here. On an inhale, flip your palms up, lift your gaze, turn your thumbs back behind you, open your heart. Exhale to round through your shoulders, sweep your fingers in front of you. So fingers are reaching towards your device. Press the space between your shoulder blades toward the wall behind you. Release your chin to your chest. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, right from here, go into a forward fold. Good job, friends. That's it. That's going to be our pattern. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Come all the way up. Exhale, tee your arms out to the side. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, find a forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, come all the way up. Exhale, tee your arms out to the side. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, find a forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift, last sun, and then we'll move on. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, come all the way up. Reach your arms over your head, lift your gaze. Exhale, tee your arms out to the side. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, forward fold. Good job, you guys. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Then step your legs out wider. Find a goddess squat. So float your knees over your ankles, and then tee your arms out to the side. Make little fists. So our heart opening here is not going to be light years away from what we did before, but it's a little different. On an inhale, start to draw your arms back behind you. Lift your gaze. Draw your shoulder blades together like you were picking up a broomstick with them. And then as you exhale, bring your hands, wrists, forearms, and elbows forward. Release your chin to your chest, round through your shoulders. That's it, friends. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, goal post arms again. Bring your legs back to center, knees floating over your ankles. And then on your next inhale, sweep your arms up over your head. Exhale, wrap right arm under your left, grab opposite shoulder. So we're going to eagle arms, right? So this may be your eagle arm. That's just fine. This is a fine place to be. Or wrap your right elbow under your left, come up palm to palm. Face the pinky edge blade of both hands forward. Now lift your elbows up to shoulder height. Good, that's it. Press your forearms forward like you were trying to touch a wall. Right. Puff the space between your shoulder blades back behind you like you were trying to come into contact with a wall behind you. That is it, friends. And then the next inhale, unwind, sweep your arms all the way up over your head. Exhale, release your right hand down by your side. Take a light grip on the side of your chair. Use your left arm, find a side bend. So fingers of your left hand sweep over to your right, Open up your left rib cage. Maybe visualize emerald green beams of light spilling out of your heart and now spilling over onto the wall on your left as you open up, create more space between the ribs on the left side of your body. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, left hand to your right thigh, right hand on the support behind your chair. Inhale, lengthen out along your whole spinal column. And then as you exhale, rotate your hips to the left first, and then open your heart to the right. Right, that sequence to me is fairly important. Right, so with these twists, if you practice with me, you've heard this a million times, so forgive me, but some of you have not practiced with me before. With these twisting movements, wherever the twist is, visualize like you were wringing water out of a dish rag. So if you're wringing water out of the dish rag, you wouldn't just squeeze the pudding out of it at the top. You'd wring it in opposite directions from the top and the bottom. Right, that's also part of caring for your sacroiliac joint. Right, inhale. Come back into center. Heel toe your feet out to the side. Come into the goddess squat again. Inhale, sweep your arms up over your head. Exhale, slice your hands down into heart center and start to fold forward. Press your elbows into your inner thighs into your elbows. Find a long, straight spinal column from tailbone to the crown of your head. So the body is canted forward at the waist, but the spine is still long. Right, so the elbows are pressing into the inner thighs. The inner thighs are reciprocating that pressure, pressing back into the elbows. Then you can lighten up with that pressure. Release your right hand down to the earth. On an inhale, sweep your left arm out to the side. Open your heart up to the left. Balanced sattvic level of energy in your left hand. So no dead fish hands, but also not overflex, somewhere right in the middle. Good, you guys. On an inhale, lift yourself up. Both palms facing down toward the earth. On an inhale, flip your palms, start to turn your thumbs back behind you, lift your gaze, open your heart. This rounding through the shoulders is very different here. Exhale, palms down, and then up in the opposite direction. Release your chin to your chest, round through your shoulders. That's it, friends. This is our sequence. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, come back into palms facing down, and then make goalposts with your arms. On an inhale breath, draw your shoulder blades together like you were picking up a broomstick. Lift your gaze, open your heart. Exhale, hands, wrists, forearms, and elbows come together, chin to your chest. We're just starting to switch to the other side for the sequence. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, come back into goalpost arms. Exhale right here. And then inhale, sweep your arms up over your head. Exhale, rotate your left arm onto your right. Start with grabbing opposite shoulders. Again, this may be where you stay. This is just fine. Or wrap your left elbow onto your right. Eagle arms. Pinky edge blade of both hands face forward. Lift your elbows up higher. Press your forearms forward more. Puff the space between your shoulder blades back behind you. If you like, walk your feet back together, knees floating over the ankle. We'll come back to those goddess legs here shortly. Inhale, unwind your arms, sweep them up over your head. Exhale, drop your left hand down to the side of your chair. Take a little grip. Take a side bend to your left. Reach your right bicep up over your right ear. Open up more space and length between the tip of your right pinky finger and your right hip. Inhale, come back up into center. With your left hand, take a little grip on the back of your chair or the handle to get there. Exhale, release your right hand to the outside of your left thigh. Inhale, lengthen out of your spinal column. Exhale, rotate your hips back to the right and then your heart to the left. So as always, the dual action twist. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Walk your feet back out into these goddess legs. Inhale, sweep your arms up over your head. Exhale, slice your hands down into heart center. Start to come forward with a flat back. Press your elbows into your inner thighs. Press your inner thighs into your elbows, garland pose. And release your left hand down to the floor. Open your right arm up to the heavens, out to the side. Open your heart up to the right. Continue to breathe. Find balanced energy in that right hand as well. Left hand as well. So we want balanced energy, sattva throughout. And then on your next inhale, let your right hand drag you all the way up to standing. Arms parallel to the earth, palms face down for now. Goddess in the legs. On an inhale, flip your palms up, turn your thumbs back behind you, lift your gaze, open your heart. Exhale, palms down and then up in the opposite direction, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, come back into arms parallel to the earth. Heel toe your feet together again. So knees in front of you now, knees floating over your ankles. Release your hands down by your side. So fingers dangle toward the earth. Back to shoulder shrugs, starting from the back. On an inhale, lift your shoulders up toward your ears. Exhale, let your shoulders fall down to the front. Inhale, lift your shoulders up from the back. Exhale, let them fall down to the front. Inhale, lift your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, let them fall down to the front. Find an apparent pause. We'll change directions again. Inhale, come up from the front. Exhale, let your elbows fall down from the back. Inhale, lift up from the front. Exhale, let them fall down from the back. This feels so good. Inhale, lift the shoulders up from the front. Exhale, let them fall down from the back. Now find an apparent pause. Grab a block. You might want to have your strap handy. Place your left knee over your left heel. If you don't have a block, don't worry about it. Place your right hand on your right knee, left hand on your left knee. If you have a block, block first, right hand, left hand, like a block and leg sandwich. On an inhale breath, start to lift your knees up toward the heavens. Apply gentle pressure with your hands back down toward the earth. Continue to breathe. So this is not easy, right? So a lot of times, especially if we're accustomed to standing poses, we look at a chair yoga practice and we think easy, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that. My hip flexors of my right leg are super fired up and engaged right now, friends. Dorsiflexion of the toes on your right foot. So flex the right toes back towards your face. Lift the knee up higher. Press your hands and your block down even more. Good job. Release your right foot down to the earth. Release your block for now. Straighten your right leg. Press the heel of your right leg forward. Flex the toes on your right foot back towards your face. Lift the toes up any amount higher. You can do anything you want with your hands. You can hold on to the chair. You can rest them on your lap or your thighs. All right, release your right heel down to the earth. Start to fold forward over that right leg with a flat back, a halfway lift action to the back. Flex the toes on your right foot back towards your face. So this is a seated Hanumasana, half monkey. So again, often we look at chair yoga, we think easy, but my right hamstring is really fired up, really feeling this right now. On your next inhale, start to lift yourself up, grab your strap, or again, you could use a towel, you could use a belt, but hook the loop of your strap, towel, or belt around the ball of your right foot, and then lengthen your right leg long in front of you again. Cinch down the strap so your right leg is straight and your right arm is straight. So if your right arm is bent, then you're relying on muscular engagement, right? But if the arm is straight, then we're allowing the skeletal structure to apply the workload here. The load's applied to the skeletal structure. So with things like this, the principle of straight arms are strong arms, straight legs are strong legs is really solid. Flex the toes on your right foot back towards your face even more. Press through the heel of your right foot even more. And then put a bend in your right knee. Set your strap off to the side. We'll need it on the other side, but not until then. Now we're going to do a seated thread the needle for hip opening. Hook the pinky edge blade of your right foot on the outside of your left thigh, just above the knee. Place the heel of your right hand on your right inner thigh, just above the knee. Left hand on top of your right. Flex the toes on your right foot back towards your right knee and apply just gentle pressure, tractioning your right knee down toward the earth. Right, so listen to your body, and whatever the sensation is that comes up, and whatever your emotional response to that sensation is, see if you can practice what we were doing in the mindfulness practice earlier. Greet it with curiosity and kindness. One of my teachers says, maybe with a sense of, isn't that interesting? So I don't know what the circumstances will be where you're using this, but what I can imagine, like following my hip replacement, the chair yoga that I was doing, chair yoga and qigong were huge parts of my recovery, and physical therapy. Those were the huge parts of my recovery. The worst thing that I can imagine was trying to do those things to take care of myself and then injuring myself worse, making myself feel worse. So be kind and gentle with yourself. All right, release the pressure with your hands. Release the sole of your right foot down to the earth. Grab your block. Place it on your left knee. If you don't have a block, just ignore the block. Left hand on the knee or the block. Right hand on your left. Flex the toes on your left foot back towards your left knee. Lift your left knee up as if you were trying to touch yourself in the shoulder with that right knee. And apply gentle pressure with your hands through the block down toward the earth. Good job, friends. Lower that left foot down to the earth. You can release your block. From my perspective, unless you have another use for it, we're done with the block for today. Straighten your left leg. Press the heel of your left foot forward. Flex the toes in your left foot back towards your face. Lift the toes in your left foot up toward the stars any amount more. So with these hamstring extensions, you probably notice we're doing this two ways. We're doing it with a strap. We're doing it without a strap. So if you don't have a strap, obviously you can do the same stretch without it. I do find the sensation varies and the strap changes it a lot, but that doesn't mean it has no value without the strap. My left hamstring is really fired up here. All right, release the heel of your left foot down to the earth. Inhale, lengthen along your spinal column. Exhale, start to hinge forward over that left thigh, with a flat back, with a halfway lift back. Keep flexing the toes on your left foot back towards your face. Half Hanumasana, seated half splits. All right, so you already have a flat back. You're in a halfway lift back. With that flat back, on an inhale, lift yourself back up. Grab your strap. Put a bend in your left knee sufficient that you can wrap your strap, your belt, or your towel around the ball of your left foot. The ball of the foot's pretty important to me. And take a look at that so that the pressure from one side to the other is pretty equally distributed. And if you've got your strap adjusted, so for a straight arm, a strong arm from the right side, it's probably going to be a really similar length here. But if you need to adjust it again, adjust it again. Press through the heel of your left foot forward, flex the toes on your left foot back towards your face, and use your left arm to engage some gentle pressure, drawing the ball of your left foot back towards your face. All right, release your strap. So put a bend in your left knee, release the strap. From my perspective, unless you have another use for it, we are done with the strap. So you can set that off to the side. Hook the pinky edge blade of your left foot on the outside of your right thigh. Flex the toes on your left foot back towards your left knee. Place your left hand on your left inner thigh, just above the knee, right hand on top of your left. Apply gentle pressure downwards. And if you notice a significant difference in mobility from one side, this thread the needle is a real revealer, right? So if you have one hip that's much more mobile than the other, you will see it in this pose. So you may notice, if you remember what my hip looked like on the other side, this is my prosthetic hip. It's only about a year and a half old, so it's really great. It's really great, and I still don't have 100% mobility, so there's less flexibility here. But rather than viewing that with judgment, friends, it is what it is. Like, this left hip is fabulous, right? Notice that difference with curiosity and kindness. Right, keep engaging with that left foot. Flex the toes on your left foot back towards your left knee. Keep applying gentle pressure down toward the earth. So we're gonna try a seated fish pose next. So you're gonna have to, like, figure out if this works at all for your body. And if it doesn't, friends, it's okay. It's okay. Release your hands. Let that left knee lift up a little bit. Gently release the sole of your left foot down to the earth for now. Bring your hands under your seat, palms face forward. Tweeze your elbows back behind you, so your elbows are pressing back into the support of your chair. You can lengthen your legs long, and then visualize a string lifting your heart up toward the heavens. And only if it's okay for your neck, start to drop the crown of your head back behind you. Right, but honor that neck. And if it doesn't feel good, like dropping the crown of my head super far back, it doesn't feel good on my neck. So I'm going to have a lot more length and neutrality in my neck. Continue to breathe. So we're going to do our pranayama, our breath practice next. This is going to be an autonomic nervous system down regulating breath. So if you're doing this practice first thing in the morning and you're not in a position where you're going to be resting for the rest of the day, you might skip this breath work. But if you're doing this in the evening, even if you didn't do the rest of the practice, you might skip ahead to the breath work. It's a really nice part of an evening routine to help down regulate the nervous system. Right? If the crown of your head is dropped back behind you, Bring your chin to your chest. Start lifting your torso back up. Put a bend in your knees. You can remove your hands. Now, this breath, this is a whiskey category breath. So it's not the sort of breath you want to use first thing in the morning on a typical basis. If you're home rehabilitating, probably fine, right? But this will make you pretty sleepy. It's going to be a 4-8 breath. So still that ocean sound on the inhale and the exhale. But what I'd like you to do is inhale through your nose for a count of 4. I'll cue you each and every time. And then exhale through your mouth for a count of 8, making a ha sound. And that ha sound might be audible like mine just was, but it might be a much more subtle sound. I don't care about the volume. I care about the quality and the sensation. So you know what that ha feels like. Look for that. All right, so we're going to do 10 repetitions. So exhale out all your breath. I'll point to my nose on the inhale. The first couple times I'll cue you. I'll point to my mouth each exhale. The first couple times I will verbally cue you, but after that I will just point and count. So exhale out all your breath, and then inhale through your nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your mouth. Ha. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your mouth. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Come back to a comfortable, natural breath. So that 4-8 down regulating breath, I wanted to share that with you here. It's technically simple. You can do it without a teacher from this point forward. You have all the tools you need to do it. It is down regulating of the autonomic nervous system, lowers pulse rate, lowers blood pressure, sometimes lowers bodily temperature, and it's vasodilating. So it helps the blood vessels to expand. Right. Also, it tends to be really relaxing. If you have trouble sleeping in the middle of the night, that might be a good choice. Right. For the last few minutes, friends, we're going to do a shavasana, a final resting shape. So a couple of options. One, you can stay seated here with your eyes gently closed or open with a soft gaze. I'm also going to show you, now don't do this if it's not safe for you, of course, but you can do a shavasana supported by your chair with your back on the earth, and your calves up and supported by that chair. Do anything you like with your hands. Arms reaching out over your head. You could tee your arms out to the side, your hands on your abdomen, one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest. But find a shape that allows you to balance relaxation and alertness at the same time. All right, friends, start to draw some deeper breaths. Maybe lick your lips, swallow a couple times. And with those breaths, go bigger on the inhale in both your belly and your chest, and more full and complete with each exhale. If your body calls for movement, start small, but start to reanimate your body with small movements. Maybe wiggling your fingers or your toes. Maybe even doing some of those neck rolls that we started with, your chin to your chest. And then lift the chin up towards your left shoulder, drop it back down to center, lift it up to your right shoulder. If your body wants more, you could go bigger. Rotate your feet at the wrists, your arms at the ankles. Even from a seat, you could take a full body stretch. Slice your hands down into heart center. Beautiful work, friends. Thank you for trusting me to guide you through your practice and for moving and breathing with me. If you move to do so, draw your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows. Blessings to you and your family. And that concludes our practice for today. Great job, friends. Friends, once again, I'm Chris. I'm from Transformation Nation Yoga and Wellness. This was our 60-minute chair yoga sequence. So if you're doing this after recovery from an illness, an injury, or a surgery, please do wait until you have a release from your physician and do this in consultation with your medical support team. Great job. You're doing amazing. Keep going.